Hi everyone, I'm Jack Harper, your instructor for English 221 this semester. First, I know it's going to be a little different from anything you've expected when you started here at LMC, unless you expected only online classes, but it's not going to be the same. Now, believe me, I get it. Much of my undergrad work has been online. Just almost 70% of my post-grad work has been online, and the last 3 years of courses I've taken have been all online, except for 2 weeks a year when I fly back to campus in Pennsylvania. So I get it. I know what to expect. I know what kind of things you're going to be facing on online classes. So we'll work through it. Now, so a little bit about me. I graduated with an AA from DVC in humanities. I graduated with an BA in literature from Cal State East Bay. I graduated with an MA in African American literature and Native American literature from Cal State. And I've been studying for an MFA, Master of Fine Arts, in writing, creative writing, from Seton Hill University back in Pennsylvania. Been doing that for quite a while, and it's rewarding, but it's online, so I know what it's like. So I'm a published writer. I've been a published writer for magazines for about 7 years. I have been writing my book, and I've got my final publication coming out on that book before the end of this semester, so I'm pretty excited about that. By the way, it's called Phoenix Flower, and it's a dystopian fantasy book. It's a lot of fun writing it. So behind me, you can see my office, the books, the guitars, the things that I like to do. It's a nice place to be, but the pandemic, just like everybody else, the pandemic's kept me here for the last year or two. So, I get out. I'm not like a hermit in a cave, like most of you are not hermits in caves, but we're kind of restricted on what we can do and where we can go. We've got to think about things, and we've got to be cautious. So, we're all going through it together, and I understand what you're feeling. This shelter in place has given us a lot to endure. There's a lot that we have to put up with. A lot of our world has changed, but we're starting to see kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. And I hope if this new president is telling us the truth, I'm hoping that we'll all be able to sometime this year see like 70% vaccinations going on. So we're going to stop seeing these ridiculously horrible numbers of people getting sick. So I don't mind working in my office. I'm pretty much able to do everything I need to do. The good news is you can get in touch with me pretty much all the time. I'm really responsive on email, so it's good. Now, it's not going to be as good as it would be if you could go into a classroom and just raise your hand and say, hey, I've got a question, or can you give me a little bit of clarification on this subject, or am I thinking the right way? It just doesn't work like that when you're working online. You have to rely on communications through other means, and email is the one that I think is going to work the best for us. I'm going to give 1 hour a week dedicated over to a Zoom Office Online kind of thing. The problem with that is, since we're asynchronous, that means that you don't have to come online at a certain time. I'm going to have to try to shift around my office hours every week so that I'm exposing it to everybody. But if you can't get to do a Zoom office hour with me, just send me an email. I'll answer it within 2 hours. I'm telling you that up front. So whatever you need to know, send me an email and I'll be happy to give you the information. So there are things you need to worry about, things you need to be aware of. First of all, you have to decide to go to class. It's not like it's scheduled. It's not like you have to be sitting in your seat by 3:05 or whatever time the class starts. You have to decide when to do it, and you have to do it early enough so that you make the end of the week with all your work done. So nobody's going to be waiting in a classroom for you to show up. You have to find a discipline inside yourself to do it. Also, it's a little bit more than a loan. It's not lonely, but it's alone. So that everything that you do, you have to do it in your own head. You have to do it with your own thoughts. I mean, it's a good idea to maybe make some friends online in the class and you can communicate with each other with ideas. That's a good thing to do. Or you can rely on my thoughts and my review of your papers. It's also very tempting to let things slip in an online world. Sometimes we kid ourselves and think how quickly we can get something done. And if it's done at 6 o'clock at night, we start working on it at noon. And guess what? That might not be enough time to get everything done. And you can lose points by doing your work late. So please do everything you can to reach inside and find that discipline. So we find a way. It's sometimes we have to dig down inside to find that discipline, and we have to find the energy to take that first step. But we can do it. And I'm telling you right now that first steps get you going on the long journey. So I'm sure you'll find a way to do it. If you need some help, what I'm going to do is notice that you might be late with some of your work. And when I notice it, I'm going to ask you about it. So that might help you a little bit, but don't rely on that. Rely on yourselves. So let's go. Let's have fun. Let's try to get through this course with a lot of energy left over. Don't be too formal. Your writing shouldn't be formal. It should be structured. It should be rhetorically correct, but it doesn't need to be formal. Sometimes people, when they're writing literature kind of analyses, or they're writing essays about arguments and they're trying to prove points, they sometimes tend to get a little bit too formal, a little bit too wordy. And what I want to do is to tell you to stop doing that, get back into talking. When you're writing, you should be speaking to your reader. Talk to your reader. Just say what you feel. Now, of course, you need to be formal about your support. If you're going to be making a claim, you have to come up with some support and some evidence. And we're going to learn about all these different kinds of evidence and support methods. But just try not to be too formal, okay? Now, when you make a claim anytime this year, I'm going to say to you, why should I believe that? And do you have any proof? And that's what a good critical thinker does. Every time they hear a claim, they think, is that true? How can I believe it? Is there any evidence for me to look at? And that's what I want you to know I'm going to be asking about your writing. Can you prove it? Okay, I'm not going to do it out loud, but I'm going to think it. I'm going to think it. Okay, that's what critical thinking is all about. All right, now I'm down to the last page of my spiel here. So I want you to go on the home page of our course in Canvas and read what's on the home page. It'll give you some kind of an understanding of what to expect. When you get done reading that, go to the bottom and there's a little icon that says Start Here. Click on that. It's blue and white. And once you click on that, it will take you to the first page of the course. The rest of the course will be laid out in modules. That everything will appear to you in order. Of course, on Canvas, you'll have a little, on the bottom right, you'll have a little list of things to do, things that you owe, things that you have to get done. So you'll know pretty much what your schedule is going to be for this course all the time. Just so you really know, every Friday I will post your work for the next week so that you'll know what's coming up the next week. Should be good. Should be fun. So again, I'm Jack Harper. This is my cave. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys online. Have a good time.